Good morning, everybody, on October the 16th of 2013. And it's a little bit cloudy outside today here in Greensboro. 62 degrees. I don't think it can decide whether it wants to drizzle rain or to sunny up and be pretty. But I guess we'll soon find out. I have all day. I'm taking a vacation day today. So, and then I'm off, of course, every Thursday and Friday. So this gives me 3 days that I can just kick back and do nothing if that's what I want to do. But we're not here for that, and you really don't care. So let's get to the point of the video. I want to talk about bullying. I've done a couple of videos on this before. Bullying is something that I don't think is ever going to go away, no matter what happens. It's never going to go away. You know, you can lock murderers up, but there's still always going to be killings. You can lock kidnappers up, but people will still be kidnapped. Some things just are never going to go away. Bullying being one of them. I do think there need to be tougher laws. There need to be tougher things done to bullies. I believe that if you are caught bullying somebody in school and it's reported time and time again, then you should be given a warning. And if you do not stop bullying after that warning, then you should be suspended. Let's say suspended for 2 weeks or whatever. And then when you come back, if you're still bullying, then you should be suspended for the rest of the year and made to repeat that year over. And I bet you that would cut back on a lot of bullying. Why do they not think of this? Why do they not think? And in a lot of cases of bullying, the person finally stands up for themselves and fights back, and they're the ones that always get suspended. Don't you find that's bullshit? But that's what seems to happen. So, the one I wanted to talk about today is 12-year-old Rebecca Sedwick. She killed herself after being bullied by 2 girls. She was bullied by Guadalupe Shaw, who was 14, and Caitlin Roman, who was 12. These 2 girls bullied her to the point to where she took her own life. And even after Rebecca took her own life, Rebecca was found at a cement site. I think she hung herself, I'm not sure, but I think she did. They found her body in there, and she was bullied by these 2 girls, and the Guadalupe Shaw, who on her Facebook page, I think goes by Guadalupe Borgen, Guadalupe wrote on her Facebook page after Rebecca killed herself saying, "Yes, I know I bullied Rebecca and she killed herself, but I don't give a fuck." Now, I think Guadalupe's daddy says that Guadalupe was not a bully. So it's in black and white on Facebook. She said, "Yes, I bullied her. Yes, she killed herself, and I don't give a fuck." And yet you still say your daughter's not a bully? It's these parents, and something needs to be done with them too, that feel this way. It's ridiculous. It's no wonder a lot of the kids get away with the stuff they get away with, because the parents are going to try to step in and try to make things better for their babies. Because Guadalupe, even though she was 14, and Caitlin, even though she was only 12, have both been arrested because of the death of Rebecca Sedwick. And goody for them. They should be arrested. They were both arrested and charged with felony aggravated stalking. And it is possible that they could get quite some time out of it, because the news is releasing their names even though they're minors. And it is being put out there. Their pictures are even on the news and online. You can look them up. And these girls, but for Guadalupe's father to say she's not a stalker, she admits she's a stalker. So why is he saying she's not? That's scary. Parents like these allow their children to bully. They allow them to get away with what they get away with. And I hope they do an interview with him on the news, because I'd be real interested in seeing what his answer is when they ask him, "Well, sir, what about what you put on Facebook?" I want to see how he answers that. This happened in Lakeland, Florida, in Polk County, and they were all students at Crystal Lake Middle School. They said that Becca had reported the bullying. And even, I think even her parents and her stepdad and her sister had reported the bullying that was going on with Becca. And this is what the school had to say. This is what the school said. And, of course, they said this before Becca killed herself. They told Becca, you need to toughen up. Adapt to new surroundings. Develop a thicker skin. That's just craziness. That's just craziness. I know when my son was bullied, when he was in the 3rd grade, was bullied by this one particular boy, and I went to that school every day. And finally, the secretary, I was talking to her, she never would let me see the principal, but she finally told me one day that she was going to contact the parents. Well, the next day, he was bullied again. I went back to the school, and she was like, well, you know, sometimes the apple just does not fall far from the tree. Sometimes you just can't talk to the parents. So, you know, basically she was telling me, well, you can't get through to them. Just go with the flow, you know. They weren't doing anything because my son had told his teacher, the principal, the secretary. I went to school every day, so I finally told him, look, do what you got to do. Stand up for yourself. Do not let this child bully you anymore. So, Joe, with the help of his friends told him, we're going to pretend like we're mad at you, and you get him over here under the ice cream tree, and then we'll hold him down while you beat him up. So, that's exactly the way it happened. And they got him over, they got the bully over there. They held him down when my son beat him up in the 3rd grade now. And as it turned out, they wanted to suspend my son and my son's friends from beating up the bully. But I said no. No. I went right back to that school. And I told them, you will not suspend my child. You're not going to do it because y'all didn't do anything. When I come up here every day, and when he told the teachers, and when he told y'all, and I came up here every day, and nobody did anything about it, and I gave him permission to beat that boy up. I told him to do what he had to do because nobody else was going to do anything about it. So, they didn't suspend him. They just made him miss his recess. He had to sit inside at his recess. And I believe the bully was suspended. And then Joey's friends, I think, got suspended too. But no, they did not suspend my child. But anyway. Becca's mother, it has started a site, and I'm getting ready to go check it out. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm going to. It's called Safe Circles on Facebook. You need to check it out. It's called Safe Circles. It somehow helps everybody in that circle, helps each other watch out for bullying on your child's Facebook or social media networks. That way, if you see anything going on, you can report it. You know, everybody kind of looks out for each other. Some people have said, well, you know, if they bullied her on Facebook and on social media, just take her off the computer. Why? Why? Everybody's on social network today. Why take your child off a social network because you're afraid a bully might get to them that way? They deserve to be on a social network with their friends the same way as anybody else. These days, whoever is not on a social network is an outcast. Everybody has a computer. Everybody's in the social limelight. Everybody. That's just the way of today. So why are you going to take your child away from that just because a bully might say something to them? Sheriff Grady Judd is the sheriff there, and he said even after Becca died, the girls didn't even stop there. They kept it going through the social medias. And it was only after Guadalupe had made that statement that she did on Facebook that the girls were arrested. At first, there was no intention of any arrest until Guadalupe made the statement of, yes, I know I bullied Rebecca, and I know she killed herself, but I don't give a fuck. And Guadalupe's daddy, You better wake up. Because your daughter is indeed a bully. I remember what it was like to be 12 years old. Barely. But I can remember. And you don't really realize a lot of things you do. I don't guess. You think you're invincible. You really do. And then when you get older, you might say, my God, how could I ever done such a thing like that? And maybe that's what these girls will think when they get older. That they should be in jail until they're older. Now I realize they probably can't go to a prison for adults, but you need to put them somewhere locked up. You need to put them somewhere where they're locked up. And maybe somebody won't keep an eye on them all that much. And maybe they might get bullied every now and then. And I hope they do. Anyway, God bless Rebecca Sedwick and her parents and her sisters and her family. And I think she had a brother too. And have you ever known anybody to be bullied? Or have you ever been bullied yourself? Incidentally, yeah, I think I told you Guadalupe, her Facebook is Guadalupe Borgen. I don't know if that's still up or not. I'm getting ready to go check that out too. I want to see if these girls' Facebooks are still up. And this is going to be an interesting case to follow. And I will be following this. And I will get back and let you know what's going on. And until next time, bye-bye.